Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen in Indonesia or here in Asian region. Good morning to all colleagues and friends in Germany. I would like to welcome you to today's online seminar on German energy efficiency solutions for the industry. My name is Jan Rönnfeldt and I'm heading the German Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Commerce in Jakarta. And I would like to welcome in particular Mr. Jan Groschow, the Deputy Head of the Economic Division at the German Embassy here in Jakarta. Dr. Haryanto, the Director of Energy Conservation at the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. I think he's a little bit late, so he will come online in a few minutes, hopefully. Mrs. Roxana Nasrollahi Karmani from Eclareon GmbH in Berlin, our partner in organizing this event today. And a special welcome to our good friend John Respati, the chairman of the Indonesian Energy Conservation and Efficiency Society, with whom we have been organizing a number of these events already. Yeah, and that's the first point. We're actually organizing EKONID, the German Indonesian Chamber, is organizing these events since 2006, so quite a long history. So I hope we have a good track record, a good network. And yeah, our research, our experience shows that there's a high energy saving potential in the Indonesian industry, which does not only provide opportunities to save resources and being beneficial to the environment, but of course, we all are businessmen. It creates cost savings and consequently higher profit prospects for the companies. And to identify these prospects and these opportunities and to encourage potential cooperations, that is the aim of this seminar. And I would like to take this moment to welcome the representatives of the German companies who take part in this, we call it virtual delegation. Guten Morgen, willkommen nach Indonesien oder von Indonesien nach Deutschland. Each of the companies will present technology solutions or best practices to specific fields or topics on how to save energy in the industry, like transmission improvements, process heat utilization, and of course nowadays the use of data management. The presentation actually serves as a teaser for you, the audience, because you can schedule individual meetings with the companies and to discuss your issues or interest in more details after the session or in the next days. Just please contact our staff. I think we will blend in an email which you can contact, or you can use the chat function of this webinar tool. Yeah, so please, if you see something interesting or if you want to continue the discussion with the company representatives, you have the opportunity in the next days to do that. But I also would like, of course, to encourage you to actively participate in the discussion part, which is moderated by John, and ask your questions or give us your comments either by raising your hand or by writing it into the chat functions. And in closing and before handing over to the next speaker, I would like to once again thank you all for attending today's business forum, and I look forward to today's presentations and discussion, and I hope you have some interesting leads or even potential cooperations at hand. Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask Mr. Groschow from the embassy for his opening remarks. Mr. Groschow, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Selamat sore, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank EKONID for organizing this event and for inviting also the embassy to say a few words. And I would like to also thank the companies, especially the German as well as the Indonesian, which will be taking part in this event in the next days, and everyone else who's listening. It's a difficult time to organize this, and this is an unusual format for this kind of project. Normally you would be visiting face to face, but as we say, an opportunity, in a crisis is always an opportunity. So it's the right time to do this, because COVID-19 forces us to rethink strategies for businesses forces us to rethink investments. And some of this rethinking would be good to put also into energy efficiency. It's a very central topic for the German government. We have a whole department, my home ministry, Ministry of Economic Affairs and Energy. We have a special agency from the German government only dealing with energy efficiency. Why is that? Because the more efficiency you have, the less overall consumptions of electricity you have, the easier it is to reach your renewables targets, the less renewable you have to produce. So the more efficient your industry is, the easier it is to reach the goals you've set yourself for the future and for your economic system. And also energy efficiency usually means also being smarter in your controls, being smarter in how your production lines work. And this can also stabilize your grids and be in line with the variations you have in renewables production. In Germany, companies usually don't invest only in energy efficiency. We don't have a project which says we want to be more energy efficient, unless it is a very high percentage of the production cost. What we do is, when we modernize the production lines, when we modernize the factories, energy efficiency is something they think about as well. And it's very easy if you have a project to digitalize your production or to think about Industry 4.0, then just add a little bit extra of energy efficiency, think about it, and it's usually much less costly when you think if you integrate it in a whole project. So that's why Industry 4.0 and energy efficiency go hand in hand. And that's why it's a very central topic for us as the government to make our economy fit for the 21st century and 22nd century. So yeah, let me close by wishing everybody good luck for today and also especially for the bilateral meetings. And I hope you have a good business and we get some projects going. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Korshoff. And I can see that Dr. Yanto is joining us now. Welcome, selamat sore, Pak. Looks like you're sitting in your car, is that right? It's good, we appreciate that. We have one, our co-organizer I would like to ask, and then by Dr. Yanto, I will pass on to you, give you the floor or the screen. First I would like to ask Mrs. Kamani from Eclareon to say a few words on behalf of your company and of course the program you're presenting here.
Yes, hello everyone and thank you. Just one question, are you preparing my presentation now? So, do I see the slides or?
Well, you can start the slides.
Okay. Okay, but first of all, of course, many thanks from my side or from our side as well to Stefan and the entire team of the Chamber, and greetings to Jakarta. Yeah, this conference takes place as part of the initiative German Energy Solutions. I am Roxana Kermani and I work as a consultant at Eclareon on behalf of the Federal Ministry of Economic Affairs and Energy. The initiative enables business partnerships in the field of renewables, energy efficiency technologies, smart grids, and storage technologies. And today I will give you a very short overview of the initiative, a very brief overview of the German Energiewende, and I will introduce the participating German companies to you. Yeah. So the initiative is based on a parliament decision in 2002 and aims to support small and medium enterprises, to distribute smart and sustainable energy solutions, and to contribute to international climate protection. And it is coordinated and financed by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy. To support the goals of the initiative, we offer information on German technology and latest news about the German energy field, networking and business opportunities with German companies, both in your country and in Germany, showcasing of reference projects worldwide, and we also inform German companies about your market via market news and market analysis. So, and now very brief overview about the German Energiewende. With the Energiewende, Germany aims for an energy supply that is environmentally friendly, safe and reliable, as well as affordable and cost-effective. The implementation of the energy transition is based on 3 pillars or areas of action: efficiency first, the direct use of renewable energies, and sector coupling. And you find more information also on our webpage, where you find also latest information about new technologies, and you can use also our online database and find German companies and energy solutions and get in touch with the companies directly. And I will introduce you now the delegation for our event, Energy Efficiency for the Industry in Jakarta and Surabaya. And we will today hear the following companies from Germany. It's AHT Syngas Technologies, Mr. Dirk Bonse, KBR Kompensationsanlagenbau, Mr. Klaus Tschech, Engelmann Sensor, Mr. Benedikt Heid, Aprovis Energy Systems, Mr. Nils Warburg, RGU, Mr. Christian Kleberg, Intec Engineering, Mr. Christian Daniel, Vision Electric Superconductors, Mr. Viktor Stark, and Klassen Apparatebau Wieslauf, Mr. Matthias Gunther. So I'm wishing you all a good conference, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sani. Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, again, also welcome to the delegation, which was just introduced. You will see the pictures later when they present their companies or their technology solutions. And now from my side, I would like to hand over to John Espati, who is the moderator of today's session, the following sessions, the rest of the sessions, and who is the chairman of the Indonesian Energy Conservation and Efficiency Society, so very experienced with this topic. And yeah, Pak John, please take over and welcome the rest of the speakers. Thank you.
Okay, if everybody hear me, right. Good morning to you, wherever you are in Germany, and good afternoon, Pak Arianto, selamat datang. Kemudian Stefan and all the EKONID official in Indonesia, good afternoon. I hope you all keep your health and shape so that the COVID doesn't affect you, your family, and close friends. Well, I'm pleased to respond to the EKONID again to moderate this online seminar that aims at promoting technology products made in Germany or produced by the German company across the world. I welcome you all the delegates that are participating in this seminar and hope our discussion today will meet your expectation in finding business prospect in Indonesia. Today we will provide you with the opportunity to promote your products or solution associated with the energy efficiency efforts to help companies in Indonesia improve their economic and also environmental performance by applying excellent German technology solutions that you are offering. Some of you may know that, may be aware that Indonesia is trying to move into the next level in clean energy development in the framework of the LCD, low carbon development, that the government has adopted for the National Development Plan in 2020 to 2025. Energy efficiency and renewable energy will be in the mainstream, will be more focused to Indonesia, hopefully, and certainly I'm a strong proponent of seeing energy efficiency and renewable energy as a tandem solution towards clean energy development. So I saw the German Energiewende is also stating the energy efficiency first, and then renewable energy, and then something else. One of the major efforts relating to this new move is that to prepare draft of renewable energy laws and to improve the core regulation on energy efficiency and conservation, which will make it more effective to support the programs and reducing the energy demand, along with reducing the energy intensity of the economic activities in the years to come. I hope that Pa Arianto is going to elaborate here about this new regulation that we are awaiting to improve the energy efficiency governance and programs. If you like to know about the new regulation, please drop a line to EKONID. They will pass it on to MASCAI or other relevant organization that may be able to provide the information. Before we start to invite the speakers, I would like to read out some rules of the webinar. This webinar will run until about 4:30 to 5 o'clock p.m. in Jakarta time without a break. Delegate will present his or her case in 15 minutes and is requested to focus more on the essential things. And please avoid extended info about your company if possible, and instead concentrate more on the proposed solution offered. As your complete information will be downloadable or accessible through internet links. Questions from audience will be written on the Q&A box provided by the virtual platform, the GoToWebinar, and the moderator will pass on the questions to the speaker to get the response, if time allowed, or eventually a response in writing will be delivered to the person that gives the question. To ensure no glitch in the internet connection, the participants are requested to mute their video camera and microphone during the presentation of other people. If you have any other questions about technical matters related to this webinar, please write it on the chat box. Presenter speaker, please introduce yourself, your name and position in the company you are presenting in this webinar. I'm not going to introduce you elaborately because we need to save time to make possible. We are going to have a more Q&A. So now let's start. Let's begin with the session of this webinar with inviting Pa Arianto, the Director of Energy Efficiency and Conservation of the Directorate General of New and Renewable Energy of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. He will explain what is the latest development in Indonesian policy and regulation about the energy efficiency and conservation. Pak Arianto, kami persilahkan. Masih mute, Pak?
We cannot hear you, Pa.
Yeah. Please unmute your microphone. So I see that Pak Arianto is not so familiar also, like me, with this COVID webinar. He used to use Zoom. Stefan, what happened?
Don't know, Pa Arianto, so we cannot hear you when your camera is off, but your microphone is actually on.
Hello.
We cannot hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, now.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Now it's working, Parianto.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So I will start. Pak John, can you hear me, Pak John?
Yes, I do. Silakan, Pak.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning for German time. I would like to present here our latest condition and situation during COVID-19, and that our economic is really contraction or suffer due to the COVID-19. And first, I would like to thank you to Mr. Jan Runfeld, Managing Director of EKONID, and then Mr. John Respati from Maske, and then representative of energy companies of Indonesia and Germany, and the panelists, participant, organizing committee, and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to commence our online seminar this afternoon by rendering our most profound thanks and praise to Almighty God, as by His grace and blessing we could gather here in German Energy Efficiency Solution for Indonesian webinar. The impact of COVID-19 outbreak is not limited to health sector, but it is also several affected our society, social and economic area. It has contributed to the stabilization of oil and gas market globally, which is may further deepen the global financial crisis and hinder sustainable development. When energy demand slow down, it will also affect conservation energy target achievement. The government issued economic stimulus and incentive to mute down the effect. The stimulus focused on the short-term fast response and green growth. It is a good opportunity for Indonesia to start implementing low carbon development, as Pak John mentioned, employing programs that promote energy efficiency, and the renewable sector have a tendency to create more jobs. Yes, thank you. Paris Agreement is an agreement within United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, or UNFCCC, wording the reduction of carbon dioxide emission, which effectively valid in 2020. The agreement was made in United Nations Climate Change Convention in Paris, France, in 2015. Energy sector was targeted to reduce greenhouse gas emission for 314 until 398 million tons of CO2 by 2030, as stated in Government Regulation Number 79 of 2014 on National Energy Policy and President Regulation Number 22 of 2017. Next, please. Potential for energy saving are abundant in various sectors. In the demand side, the most potential come from the industrial transport sector, 5 until 26%, whereas power plant sector 0.5 until 2%, and building 12.5 until 15.6% contribute in the supply side. By 2025, the target for energy efficiency project are to reduce energy intensity by 1% per annum, and to reduce energy final consumption by 70%. Next, please. So, in accordance to the achieve energy efficiency, energy conservation target, MEMR has formulated essential program in industrial sector, such as an energy management implementation, dissemination, and collaboration, innovative, and be the best for participating in global awards. Moment, please. And the new regulation is, as Pak John mentioned, the implementation of energy management system is mandated in the government regulation number 70, 2009, which include appointing an energy manager, formulating energy conservation program, energy audit implementation regularly, and also implementing of energy audit reporting to the government. Currently, the government is revising the government regulation number 70 2009 on energy conservation. And based on energy management reporting data in 2019, 148 companies has reported their energy use with a total saving of energy about 44,000 gigawatt hour and reduction in CO2 emission around 2.4 million ton CO2 equivalent. Currently, Indonesia has 795 certified national energy managers.
Excuse me, Pak.
And
Excuse me, Pak Arianto.
900 more. Yes.
Pak Arianto.
Yes.
Your slide is not moving.
Yeah, Pak.
Your slide
Okay.
is not moving. Yeah.
Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. Okay, I will continue our talks, our speech here. Indonesia has also been encouraging private sector in Indonesia to participate in national and global energy efficiency awards, such as National Award in Energy Efficiency called Subroto Award, ASEAN Energy Award, and Energy Management Leadership Awards. During and post-COVID-19 pandemic, energy efficiency still play an important role because in this difficult situation, increasing production is very difficult, and energy efficiency is an effort that can be done to survive. The application of digitalization through Industry 4.0 is very important, and the application of energy efficiency in building by improving HVAC system according to the new normal and new standard rules. The application of smart mobility, smart technology is also very important and prominent for application in industry, including power generation and transportation. In addition, our challenges to implement energy efficiency in industrial sector is a funding. Financial institutions do not well understand about energy efficiency business, and they still highly consider too important of collateral. Next, please. Last slide, please. And ladies and gentlemen, we are sincerely hope that German energy efficiency solution for industry webinar will be useful in opening our way of thinking in facing various challenging in amidst of this energy transition. I wish you all a fruitful and successful discussion. Thank you. Vielen Dank. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak John. I give back to you.
Thank you, Pak Arianto, for your insight and informing us in the new development of the Indonesian policy and regulation. As I said, the regulation on the core regulation on energy efficiency and conservation is imminently is coming to be issued in hopefully by the early next year, so that we will have a new guideline to improve the efforts of programs on energy efficiency. As I said, as the Pak Arianto said, I agree that the major problem or the major handicap in Indonesia is the awareness about the importance of renewable energy. The second is on finance, how to find the finance, because the banks do not understand the principle of energy efficiencies project. So they do not know how to evaluate the project. So this is something that we have to do to improve this. And last but not least is, of course, the regulation that has to be put on mandatory basis. And thanks God that the new regulation that, as I said just now, is going to improve that. And even that the new regulation is going to promote energy service companies specifically to do in energy business, energy efficiency business in Indonesia. Thank you, Pak Arianto, once again. Now let me introduce, or let me invite Miss Jana Cooperline. She is from Fraunhofer Institute for Casting, Composite, and Processing Technology in Germany. Miss Jana, the time is yours.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Ah, perfect. Unfortunately, my camera is not working today, so yeah. But I think the audio is fine. So thank you a lot for the announcement. Good afternoon to the Indonesian participants, and good morning to the participants in Germany. My name is Jana Köberlein, and as you already heard, I am a research assistant at the Fraunhofer Institute for Casting, Composites, and Processing Technology from the Department for Sustainable Production Systems. I'm pleased to be here today and to be able to give you an insight into our research activities in the field of energy efficiency and energy flexibility in production. I hope I can contribute to rounding off the program with my keynote speech. Could you go to the next slide, please? Or is it possible that I can do it myself, maybe?
Yes, you can click yourself.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. So first of all, I would like to give a brief insight into our institute, followed by an introduction to the challenges of energy system transformation and a presentation of our activities in the field of energy efficient and energy flexible factories based on several project examples. The Fraunhofer EGCY is a rather young Fraunhofer Institute in the field of production technology. It was founded in 2016 with its headquarters in Augsburg, Bavaria. Through our institute management and executives, we are closely connected to the Technical University of Munich and the University of Augsburg, among others. Our institute is divided into 3 departments: casting technology, composites, and processing technology. I myself come from the field of processing technology, where the departmental structure is based on the classical automation pyramid. So the topics range from the process itself, in our case, additive manufacturing, to the plant level, production planning, and factory planning. The focus here is, among other things, on the efficient use of resources. So to give a little bit background for the motivation of my presentation, mitigating the climate change is one of the greatest challenges of this time, as climate change will not only cause irreversible damage to our environment, but also have a major financial impact on global economy. These developments leads to growing attention for climate protection and puts pressure on political and economic decision makers around the world to intensify their efforts for climate protection. This includes in particular measures for the sustainable energy sector, which today still contributes about 1/3 of global emissions. Especially the use of fossil fuels to generate energy releases enormous amounts of greenhouse gases. In Germany, with the Climate Protection Plan 2015, Germany has set itself the goal of achieving extensive greenhouse gas neutrality by 2050, and in the course of this, increasing the share of renewable energies in gross electricity consumption to at least 18% in 2050. Nevertheless, to reach these goals, massive and rapid additional efforts are needed. Otherwise, the goals will not be reached. The transformation of the energy system necessary to achieve the climate goals is characterized by several challenges, which are illustrated in the so-called energy trilemma, which you can see on the left side. Even if global primary energy consumption continues to rise, energy must be provided to the extent that the demand of the economy and the population is covered. And this has to be reached while the population's access to energy must be ensured, including, for example, affordable energy prices. The ecological sustainability goal is an energy-efficient energy system and the transformation to renewable energies. As you can see on the right side, the generation of electricity from wind and solar energy is, however, largely dependent on weather conditions and thereby fluctuates considerably. So in contrast to conventional power plants, there are only little to no controllable. To ensure a stable and reliable energy supply, there has to be a balance between the supply and demand in the power grid. In the past, changes in the electricity demand have been balanced by controlling electricity generation in conventional power plants in Germany. So for the future, there will be needed other options to close the gap between demand and supply. And one of these options can be demand response, which is the flexibility of the energy demand. As with a share of 44% of total electricity consumption, industrial consumers offer enormous potential to contribute to balancing these fluctuations by means of industrial demand-side management. There's a lot of potential in energy-intensive industry processes. What are the economic drivers in Germany for German industries to for an efficient and flexible use of energy? So the price of electricity for German industry has risen sharply in the last 20 years and is about 30% higher than the EU average. And to be less dependent on rising electricity prices, energy efficiency measures are being implemented. In addition, there are already initial incentives in the German electricity and market design, not only to reduce consumption, but also to make it more flexible. For example, the costs for load peaks are high, so a smooth load profile is advantage. Through the implementation of an integrated load management of several consumers within a company, load peaks can be reduced and thus cost saved. Moreover, prices on short-term electricity markets are increasingly fluctuating. In 2019, for example, there were already 211 hours of negative prices. So with the flexibilization of the energy demand, industries can make use of these electricity price fluctuations, and therefore, yeah, get lower prices. But for this, predictability and controllability of electricity consumption is needed, and there's also a market access required, which is currently mainly relevant for large electricity consumers. However, energy flexibility can also be used to maximize own consumption from own generation plants and at a site. And the use of decentralized battery storages at production sites can further increase the potential for cost savings and energy flexibility. So to show the difference, energy efficiency measures reduce energy costs in the long term through performance or time-related measures. In the energy flexible factory, energy costs are reduced by a short-term adjustment of the energy demand. Often there's an interdependency between efficiency and flexibility. So often a higher energy efficiency has to be bought with lower flexibility. This is due to the fact that consumers no longer work at their optimum operating point when varying the load, or energy is lost through intermediate storage. So energy flexibility and energy efficiency must be considered in an integrated way. Future production systems should therefore be both energy efficient and energy flexible. To give some examples for energy flexibility measures, there are a lot of various measures from the long-term production planning to short-term control that can be used to achieve energy flexibility in a production system. So they reach from changing of the order sequence to interruption of an order, or inherent process storages. So yeah. So for an energy flexible factory operation, energy supply from the grid and from own generation plants has to be aligned with the energy demand of production processes and the production infrastructure. Digitization poses as an enabler for the automated energy flexible control of processes and plants. It allows to aggregate flexible potential within a factory of different consumers and the handling of complex systems with different consumers and producers. Complex systems should therefore be controlled automatically. However, it is possible to control simpler systems with semi-automatic or manual using the current price curve for electricity prices, for example. I will show you this later with an example from the graphitization. So together with approximately 100 project partners, we aim within the project Synergy to create all technical and market conditions in accordance with legal and social aspects in order to effectively synchronize the energy demand of German industry with the volatile energy supply. The Synergy project is part of the Copernicus projects in Germany, which is one of the largest German research initiatives in the field of energy system transformations. And the research topics within Synergy reach from the flexibilization of the processes and the production infrastructure over the analysis and redesign of the regulatory framework of market and electricity systems to the investigation of economic, ecological and social effects within the energy flexible model region and in Augsburg, where the local energy balance is tested in a demonstration project. Here you can see 3 exemplary flexibility measures from the model region in Augsburg. Within a simulation, it was tested how they can contribute to the local energy balance in the Augsburg region. And the three measures from the local companies, from the paper industry and the chemical industry, had already effects of a medium power plant scale to balance the energy in the model region Augsburg. So the peak loads could be reduced, as well as the overall excess electricity was could be used instead of being shut down. One of these examples shows a foundry operation where the molting mass is used as an inherent storage. So the starting time of the melting process could be shifted within certain restrictions. There had to be taken into account some restrictions like the cooling rate and some other process restrictions like the furnace capacities. But overall, it was allowed to decouple the energy-intensive process of melting from the time-dependent process of casting. And so 6 megawatt could be shifted between several hours according to the regional supply situation. So this combination shows the combination of several flexibility measures, such as shifting orders and inherent energy storage within one process. Another example is the energy flexible graphitization. Graphitization is the most energy intensive process step in the production of graphite electrodes. This shows the process step where the raw material is heated until a graphite structure is formed. And the heating process consists of a preheating period and the main heating period, which you can see in these heating curves. And the goal here was to shift the orders according to the price forecast on short-term markets. The orders could be, the alignment could be changed and the starting time could be changed, and also one process could be paused. And with this, it was possible to reduce energy costs of 5%. So last but not least, I brought one research project example from energy efficiency. As in the field of production infrastructure, their inefficiencies often stay unnoticed, which leads to an increase in energy consumption. And therefore, in this project, we try to develop a software-based service for the automatic detection of energy efficiencies. And therefore, we use different machine learning methods. So as my time is already over, I will do a short summary of my presentation. So reducing greenhouse gas emissions is an important goal for society as a whole. Energy flexible factories can contribute to the efficient integration of renewable energies and at the same time achieve potential cost savings. In addition to trading on the electricity exchange, own generation or reduction of peak loads can also offer financial advantage. Energy flexibility overall helps maintain grid stability, but energy flexibility and energy efficiency always have to be looked at in an integrated way because they can work in opposite directions. Thank you a lot.
If I have to comment that in Indonesia, we are moving toward that direction, but there's still very much things to do to achieve that, because the the grid quality of the local utility is still have to be improved. Okay, thank you for the contribution. Thank you for the speech. We are going to open a short Q&A, but I have just been informed by Pak Arianto. Pak Arianto has rushed to go to the Bapenas, to the National Planning Bureau, to ministry to have some function there. But he promised to go back in around 1 hour. So I would like to open a few questions, but preferably the questions should be, as I said, should be put on the question and answer text box, so that we can. But how should I? So I have not seen any question put on this on the next text box. Is there any question that you can add? You can give to us now, or to the Miss Yana Kubaran? I have a question though.
So far. There's no question so far from the audience.
Yes, is there any?
No, there's no question from the audience.
There is no question. I have one question to Miss Yana, if I may. Miss Yana, your research is excellent, but my question is how far in Germany that your research has been implemented in the real business?
Very energy-intensive processes, like in the graphitization process or in the paper industry, they already make use of these incentives and they can lower their electricity costs by reacting to market signals. But as I said, at the moment, it's only makes sense for very energy-intensive processes. With the Synergy project, we try to lay all the foundations, like how has the market and electricity design, how should it be that more industry companies want to align their demand to the fluctuating supply, and we also research on the information and communication technology needed to link the machines to the market. So then in the next 2 years there will be a demonstration platform in the model region in Augsburg, where this is tested with a few local companies from market side and from industry side to test this local energy balance.
Wonderful. So it is a kind of solution to the classic problem of intermittent and inflexibility of the energy supply, isn't it?
Sorry, could you repeat it?
Is it a solution to the classic problem of using intermittent energy sources? It's like similar like a smart grid. Is it the same thing?
It's you're right. So I think flexibility cannot only be used to balance the overall supply and demand. It's one solution for it, but it also can be used in within the factory to efficiently integrate the own photovoltaic the own electricity generation at the plant. So it can be very local, like within a self-sufficient production system, but also it can be it can give the needed flexibility on grid level.
Okay, thank you very much.